everyone, my name is Izabela and I would like to invite you to my third video, this time dedicated to promenade position. Like before, I will try to help you to understand what is promenade position, why do we do promenade position, and of course, how do we do it. So first of all, what is promenade position? Promenade position is by far one of the most beautiful dance positions that we do in ballroom dancing. However, it's also one of the hardest to do it well. So to demonstrate that, I will like to use those two blocks. And I want you to think about the promenade position as a type of V. So what that really means, type of V? If this block will be representing a gentleman, and this block will be representing lady, when we take the close position, the lady stays slightly on the gentleman's right side. Yeah, slightly offset. When we create a promenade position, we would have to create a type of V, where approximately between partners, both partners will be a 90-degree difference in their pelvis. So as you can see, in a promenade position, the lady hips will be slightly behind the partner. It is not position where the lady is exactly in line with the partner. The lady will be always slightly behind. That's why we call it a type of V. Okay? So why do we create a promenade position? It is simply because that position, the V position, will help or will be a necessary position for two partners to step comfortably forward. So at this moment, both partners will be traveling forward in promenade position. Okay, and then we will be talking, of course, about how to do promenade position. So first, I will be introducing a static kind of exercise, how you can create a promenade position. Then I will explain how to create promenade position from the figure that turns to the right, followed by promenade position created from the figure that turns to the left. Let's talk now how we create promenade position. And as you can see, I have a little scarf here on my shoulders that I will be using to demonstrate for you an easy exercise that you can practice at home. But before we will be going to any exercises, I would like you to start with the perfect postural position, PPP. Yeah, I don't mean perfect projected program. I mean perfect postural position. So what that means, I would like you to have a beautiful long spine, shoulders down, and a little bit take your abdominal muscles in and the shoulder blades also in. So I'm making myself a narrow sandwich, yeah, as opposed to having a bad posture. Okay, so perfect postural position. From here, as a man, I will be taking a small step onto the right foot, and then I will be creating a pressure rise. And as I create a pressure rise from my big toe to the ground, I will be pulling on the scarf downwards. And I will do this one more time. Pressure rise. So at this moment, I'm only working vertically up. Okay, and one more time. Pressure rise. So what is important here, that when we create a promenade position, we don't want to rise and then pull the blocks away from the lower part of the body. So it's extremely important that we stay in a vertical position as we are rising upwards. The lady will be doing exactly the same, but this time she will be on the left foot, also staying comfortably vertically over the left toe, big toe, and then pressing big toe to the floor. As she's rising up, she will pull the scarf down, and again rising and then pulling, and again rising and pulling and rising and pulling. All right, my second exercise right now, you will be still thinking about going up, but as you will be going up, gentleman will be thinking about turning his center slightly to the right, again maintaining a vertical position. So I will do this with my scarf, again on the right foot, vertical, pressurize, and turning the torso to the right. And again, vertical rise, turning the torso to the right. And again, last one, turning to the right. Okay? The lady will have a little bit harder time at this moment because she will start facing this direction and she will be learning as she pushes up, she will also swivel her foot. Okay? And one more time. So press and then the swivel the foot. And again, press and then the swivel the foot. Okay? So as I'm doing this right now, and I will try to do this, demonstrate to the mirror, towards the camera, sorry, I'm turning my body against my hips. Okay? So the pelvis is not going to turn as much as the body will turn. So that's for the gentleman, one more time, and rotating the torso, whoops, sorry, and not the hips. Okay? For the lady, she will do exactly opposite. So she will be turning her feet. And whenever I'm turning the feet, you can see that my hips also turning. So that's what she will do. She will turn the feet as she's pressing up, turning the feet against the shoulders. Okay? So that's the second thing I want you to practice at home. And then the last thing in this stationary way of learning how to create promenade position will be how we're taking the step number, I will be calling step number 1 and step number 2. So I will begin exactly the same. Pressurize, turning center to the right against my hips, and then I will take my step number 1 in promenade position. Notice right now my legs are equally distributed, equally straight, and then I will bring my foot flat underneath me, and from here, without changing that position, I will step right foot forward in promenade position. Again, maintaining the same body turn to the right as the hip stays a little bit more open. I will do one more time. And starting on the right foot, press down, shoulders down, rotate the body to the right. Now take this step, equal weight distribution, collect the feet in a flat way with the right foot, and then right foot forward without changing the position. Okay? The next, for the lady, she will have exactly the same. So she will pressurize, she will swivel her feet, and then she will step equal weight distribution between both legs. She will collect the foot between her body, and then she will step right foot forward, again keeping the hips open and then the shoulder closed. Okay, I hope you can see that. Maybe one time I will demonstrate this without the scarf, and that will be the first exercise I want you to do, practicing opening to promenade position more in a static way. And all of those little components that I mentioned here, they will be present in the later promenades that I will go next. So one more time, without the scarf right now, I will step on my right foot, create a vertical pressurize, turn my body to the right against my hip, and then I will step to the side and forward in promenade position, maintaining the same position. Okay? And as a lady, one more time, and I will step onto the left foot, pressurize, swivel my feet. As you can see, the hips a little bit turn more than my shoulders. Then I will go to promenade position and one more step in promenade, maintaining the same position. So nothing is changing. All right, so then we will go to promenade position, turning to the right, and then promenade position, turning to the left. So what I was demonstrating so far is that when we are in promenade position, 2 blocks of weight, which is the torso or rib cage block of weight, and then the hip area or pelvis area are not turning at the same time. So for the gentleman, in what we just practiced, the torso will be turning a little bit more than the hips in order to create a promenade position. For the lady, will be exactly opposite. She will be turning her feet, but when she turns the feet, the hips or the pelvis is turning away from the shoulders. So that will be the key to understand the next promenade I will be right now explaining. So in dancing, we always create a promenade position either from the figure that turns to the right or from the figure that turns to the left. When we're turning to the right, you will always find exactly what we just practiced, that the man will turn the torso more and not his pelvis. So for that, I would like to demonstrate a very common figure that we use in International Standard and in American Smooth. It is called open impetus or back twinkle. So I will begin first starting backwards for you. I will take the left foot back and I will create a heel turn that we just talked on in my previous video. From here, as you can see, I'm square. Now, as I'm creating a pressure rise, I will be also turning my center to the right. And now I will step left foot in promenade position, equal weight distribution, collecting the weight and then stepping through. Extremely important to keep the shoulders turned to the partner as the hip stays open. Okay, I will do this one more time without stopping. And 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay, for the lady, if you will be practicing that figure, lady will be going forward, then she will step to this side, and from this moment you will see I will be swiveling my feet as I keep my shoulders very strongly to my partner. Let's create a beautiful promenade position. Then, of course, to the side in promenade position, and then one more step in promenade. We'll do this one more time. And stepping between partner's feet or outside in American Smooth. 1, 2. Now turning from the feet against the shoulders. And following 2 steps. So that's how we create a promenade position from the turning to the right. I will just give you a few examples where we use exactly the same technique, but I'm not going to go into the details. I would like you to think about these steps or try to use them at home. Again, as you can see, it doesn't require a lot of space. So another common figure where this technique will be applied is the turning lock to the right. It's the gold figure from International Standard. For the gentleman, again, I will dance 1 and 2, finding my balance over the right foot. As you can see, turning my torso, not my hips, and then opening to promenade position. Okay, so turning lock to the right. For the lady, exactly the same. And 1 and 2. Now she will swivel from the feet and then step in promenade position. Okay, so practice that at home. Now let's quickly touch on the promenade that turns to the left. So in this case, things will be exactly opposite. So if I will take the block right now, and that will demonstrate a gentleman hips and gentleman torso. As we're turning to the left, creating promenade position, it is gentleman who will be swiveling or turning his feet more than the shoulder. So he will be turning lower part of the body. Lady, in this moment, she will be actually much easier. She will be only turning upper part of the body, more than the pelvis. And I will demonstrate that based on one figure from the walls. It's called outside change. So from here, gentleman is going backwards 1. Now he's already on the second step. As you can see, I already start turning my toes slightly in, and then I will turn my feet more than my shoulders to create a good promenade position. Okay, turning lower part of the body. For the lady at this moment, like I mentioned, it's quite easy. She's already in that position, and 1, 2, as you can see, I turn my torso right now more than my hips, and I will end in promenade, beautiful promenade position. Okay, so that's the introduction to how to create promenade position from first static position. A great exercise doing this at home. You can put something on your shoulders. You don't have to. You can do this statically, practicing the coordination between the lower and upper part of the body. The lady, again, will be turning the feet, not the shoulders. As we come to the left, it's exactly opposite. Okay, when we turn to the left, it is the man who will be turning the feet and not turning the torso. For the lady, she will be turning the torso and not the feet. So I hope you find this a little bit useful. Keep practicing this. I can guarantee that with consistent practice, you will feel so much more comfortable with the promenade position, and you will look beautiful as you dance them. So next, I will take you into how we can get out of the promenade position. So by now we understand how to create a promenade position either from static or stationary position, either from the turning to the right or from the turning to the left. So now we need to learn how to get out of the promenade position. And there are simply 4 ways you can do it. The very first one is, once we are in promenade position, we can choose to stay in promenade position for entire bar of the music. Another option, number 2, is when the man will stay in the same position, but he will allow the lady to close to him, and then they both will step outside. It's called as the promenade chasse from promenade position. The option number 3 is where, for example, men will be dancing in front of the partner, creating a type of right turn. Or, again, from promenade position, the option number 4 is when the lady will close in front of the partner. Let's say that could be a weave. So let's see how we will create those. If I will take this as a line of dance, I will again first create a beautiful promenade position as men, and then I will maintain that position without change as I'm dancing promenade, and I'll stay in promenade position. By not altering my hip angle and my shoulder angle, lady should absolutely feel that there is no changes in the contact, and she will stay in a promenade position. The second option, now men will be dancing chasse, and he wants the lady to close to him. So now, from the step number 1, he will allow the lady to close to him, and as you know, the shoulders turns more than the hips, so he will right now square his torso with his hips. By the moment he's closing the feet, the lady continue closing the body, but he's already preparing a shoulder lead for the step number 4. From here, as we know from the previous lessons, we will be moving across the feet to step outside partner in CBMP. The lady at this moment, again in promenade position, her hips are open, her shoulders are more closed. So now she needs to close to him. He's taking his shoulders back, and that will turn the lady feet towards him, squaring up again, hips underneath the shoulders. As she's closing the foot, she's already preparing a side lead. She feels that from the partner. And then they both go into outside partner. Gentleman goes outside partner position in CVMP. So that was the option number 2. Let's look at the promenade position when the man is closing to the partner, like open natural turn. Again, I'm in promenade. So now at this moment, again, my hips are more open than my shoulders. On the following step, gentleman will bring his hips underneath the shoulders. Now it's a perfect square position, and now he can continue with the rest of his figure. And the last option, the option number 4, is, let's say, the weave, when the lady will be closing around the partner. Maybe before I go there, I will show a little bit what the lady is doing in the turning to the right. So again, the hips are open, the shoulders are closed, and now from here, one man is going in front of me, so now I need to bring my shoulders in line with my hips. Then we can continue with the following steps. Okay, and the last one, the 4th option, promenade position 1. Now this time the lady is going in front of me. So my shoulders needs to right now turn slightly to the left to get in line with my hips before I will continue with the weave ending. Okay, and for the lady, again, shoulder close, hips open, and the lady at this moment has shoulder closed, so she needs to bring her hips again, in front or underneath the shoulders before continuing turning to the weave. So I hope this a little bit clarified how we creating promenade positions and also how we are getting out of the promenade position. For me, it is extremely important that we create a little bit torque in the body that creates a more dynamic and a little bit more fuller look in the top line. But once we create that, we also have to know we need to get out of it. If we maintain that position for too long, or it's the untwisting happens too late, something will feel not right, some tension or maybe loss of the connection. So practice those little details, and hopefully they will be useful for you when we come back to dancing. At the end, I will finish this lesson with the short exercise that you can very comfortably do at home, and it will help you to get a better coordination between or flexibility in the upper spine versus the lower spine. As you can see, promenade positions require quite a lot of flexibility in your spine, upper spine and also lower spine. So doing a simple exercise at home will definitely help you to get that flexibility. So here what I would like you to do. I keep a band in front of me. You don't have to. You can also just use your hands in front of you in an even distance. But I will use it with this band. So right now what I will do, I will turn my entire torso without turning my feet to the right. Okay? It's extremely important that I'm not just turning the arms, but I'm turning entire torso, and this band stays exactly equally facing my torso. From here, I will turn my feet maximum away from that band. Then I will turn my torso again more than my feet, and then again my feet more than the torso, and I will come back to square. From here, I will go opposite direction. I will turn everything to the left. Now I will turn my feet more than the shoulders, then again my torso, now again my feet, and then back to the center. So keep repeating that exercise. It will help you to get mobility independently in your upper and lower spine. So good luck, have fun with learning, studying, practicing. Again, please email me, send me a text, a message if you have any questions, if you did not understand anything, or if you have any suggestions for the next videos. I will be very happy to answer all of your questions. So thank you so much. Again, enjoy the learning and hope to see you soon. Take care.